If you know anything about sales, you know it's all about the follow-up. Great follow-ups can significantly shorten your sales cycle, so keep watching for my best strategies for effective and efficient follow-ups. I'll also give you parameters for what to expect when it comes to following up. You may be leaving money on the table without even realizing it. First, and this is so important to know, 85% of sales occur after the fifth follow-up. And this is from many studies that I've read over the years. But again, 85% of sales occur after the fifth follow-up. That's a lot of times to follow up, isn't it? And it can seem overwhelming as I'm saying it right now, because the truth is only 10% of salespeople make more than 5 follow-ups. That's a very small percentage. And 50% of sales professionals or business people give up after the first follow-up call. So maybe you've had a great, meeting with someone, and let's say it's on Zoom because a lot of our meetings are still on Zoom. So we had a great meeting and it seemed like it went really well. And you're feeling like this is done, right? They're going to buy from me. And you get off the Zoom call without a clear follow-up strategy or a clear plan. And then the next day you're thinking, well, they haven't paid the invoice yet, or they haven't responded, or I thought that sale was closed. And then a few days later, you're still waiting. You're thinking, why haven't they reached out to me? And then maybe a week later, you're really starting to sweat it because you're like, what happened to the sale? I thought the sale was closed. The truth is we missed a few steps in there. And it's okay, because what I'm going to share with you can really help you close more sales in the moment. Going back to that first call, let's say, for example, that at the end of it, they haven't purchased, right? Or they haven't signed the contract with you, or they haven't made a decision yet. That's where you want to do one of the most important things you will ever in your career, and that is to create a follow-up before you have to. So put another appointment on the calendar. That's a step that most people miss, and when you miss that step, that's why you get stuck in all the rest of the follow-up. So if you can make that shift in the beginning, you don't have to make all these other follow-ups. You know they're going to be on the phone with you in a couple of days or back on Zoom. Okay. Second, a lot of times people ask me, all right, Ursula, well, let's say I met someone at a networking meeting and we exchanged business cards and they said, yeah, I really want to meet with you. I'm really interested in what you're offering. Most people will just exchange business cards and, be on their way with the intention of calling that prospective client the next day or whenever. It doesn't happen. Most of us know that when we leave a networking meeting with a business card, or even an event with a business card, we take it, we bring it back to our office, and we put it on our desk. And we, with best intentions, tell ourselves that we're going to call. And we don't. And the next day we look at it, but we get busy, we get pulled into other things, and we still don't follow up. And that business card sits there and it starts to collect dust. And at some point, we don't even remember where we met that person. Totally normal and totally sad. And it means that we leave millions and millions and millions of dollars on the table, just waiting to be picked up. The next time you're at a networking event or at any kind of event, a trade show, and someone wants your business card, rather than just handing them your business card, I invite you to take out your calendar and ask them to do the same. The best time to set an appointment is always in the now. It's right now in this moment. Now, let's say that didn't happen. Maybe this morning you were at a networking event. You're like, Ursula, I didn't do that. I didn't set the appointment. That's okay. It's okay to call. When people ask me when's the best time to call, the answer is always now, in the moment. If you met them at an event, call them that afternoon, call them an hour later. They're not going to be thinking, wow, this person's just calling me right away. They're going to be grateful that you actually did what you said you were going to do and you followed up. By now you're probably wondering, okay, I get it. Following up is important, but how do I actually do it? How do I actually follow up? Stick around because we're going to go over that in more detail at the end. Third, what I want you to know, it's really important that you keep going, you keep following up, whether it's 5 times or 20 times until you get a clear yes. They're your client. Awesome. A clear no, which is fine. In fact, you're going to get more no's than yeses during your career. Or third, what I talked about before, which is a step that most people miss, a next step on the calendar. And again, when you get the next step on the calendar, that avoids these, hundreds of follow-up calls that you're going to have to make, or it feels like hundreds of them, right? You avoid that because you've already created the next step on the calendar. And by the way, let's say you get that next step on the calendar before you finish your Zoom meeting because they haven't made a decision yet. The next step is we're going to talk on Friday. Okay, great. So Friday comes along and they've taken some action and they're closer to making a decision, but then you find out that they have a business partner. We haven't talked to the business partner. We need to bring the business partner into the meeting. Before you get off that call, set an appointment with the person, the prospective client, along with their business partner, right? And put that meeting on the calendar as well. That will prevent a lot of this back and forth and wasted steps. The other thing it does is it shows the prospective client how professional you are. Professional salespeople put next steps on the calendar so they don't have to chase their clients. Fourth, don't wait. Again, this goes back to when is the best time to do it? Right now. Unfortunately, right, if you're a business owner who's still making sales calls, you wear a lot of hats, right? You're probably doing so many things in your business, and sales can feel like the thing that just falls to the bottom of the basket. But when it does that, when it falls off your calendar and it doesn't get done, then your business starts to stagnate. In order to grow a business, you have to have consistent sales calls, right? Consistent meetings. And so the easiest way to fix that is to put it on your calendar in the morning. I know some of you are groaning. Can you imagine sales in the morning? But honestly, it's easier to do it first thing than to think you're going to do it in the afternoon. By the time afternoon happens, your day has already gotten away from you. The last thing you want to do is make a sales call. But if you can just do 30 minutes of sales calling first thing in the morning, number one, you're going to feel better about yourself. Number two, you're more likely to get people on the phone. Number three, you're going to be moving your company toward the goals that you've set for yourself. And again, when we work with our clients, we always share with them, it's just 30 minutes. It's not 60 minutes. It's not 2 hours. Put 30 minutes on your calendar. We've proven at one of our courses that we used to do all the time called Sales Camp. We still do this course privately. We've proven at that course that just 30 minutes of sales calls a day, it's like 30 minutes of exercise a day, right? Just 30 minutes a day can easily get you to your goal, especially when you do it with intention. And if you like what we're talking about, we do have other videos on how to sell with intention, so you definitely want to check those out. Fifth, don't quit after the fifth follow-up if you haven't gotten a yes, a no, or a next step on the calendar yet. Sometimes you might be following up 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. I don't know. When our clients follow up regularly, often what they hear from their prospects is this: I'm so glad you followed up. I'm so glad you continued to follow up. And when you do that over and over again, I guarantee you'll get better at it. It'll get easier. It won't feel salesy. About 5 years ago, I was working with a sales team, and this sales team was pretty successful. But when I talked to their CEO, I noticed a couple of things. One, when I asked how many times they were following up, he said 3 or 4 times. And when I asked how many times they were following up after that, he looked at me like I was crazy. He said, we don't. Like, maybe we follow up 3 or 4 times, but then we stop. When I shared the statistic with him that most sales are closed after the 5th follow-up, his eyes were bulging out of his head. And I could see him counting the dollars that they were missing. And so I said, don't worry, we're going to work with your sales team. I will show them, I'll show them the statistics. I'll show them what to say to follow up, and I'll really help them get into this habit of follow up. But I said, it's going to happen really quickly. So that first day, once we went through the training, we sat them down for 30 minutes of sales follow-ups. It wasn't new calls, it was sales follow-ups. And during just that 30 minutes of sales calls, they closed thousands and thousands of dollars in sales because their prospects said to them, where have you been? I'm so glad you followed up. I've been waiting to hear from you. I always tell my clients, if a prospective client calls you out of the blue and says, hey, here's my credit card, I'm ready to buy the thing, whatever it is, go buy a lotto ticket, because that doesn't happen. When you get good at following up, I guarantee you, your sales will grow exponentially. So you're probably wondering, what should I say to follow up? I can tell you that in the beginning of my sales career, I messed this up all the time. I felt super salesy, I felt super pushy, and I was really focused on myself. I was focused on what I was saying, how I was saying it, and it just felt awful. And so one of the ways to shift your verbiage is to stop thinking about yourself. And I get it, like why wouldn't we think about ourselves? We're the ones who have to make the follow-up calls. But instead I want you to think about your prospective client. How are they feeling, right? What do you think they're thinking about? I can tell you they're not thinking about us at all. What they're thinking about is the problem that you're going to solve for them, right? The reason they met with you in the first place, because they still have that problem, they still have that challenge, they still have that thing that they want to change. When you follow up, you want to reset a meeting, because often if they haven't made a decision and you didn't set another appointment in that first meeting, it's really hard to kind of try to like finalize the sale just on a quick call. So instead, just follow up and say, hey, Rachel, I've been thinking about you. I know you said you wanted to change X thing in your company. Let's say you wanted to double your sales, or you talked about getting healthier, and you've been on my mind, and I really want to help you do that and help you reach that goal that you talked about. And then say nothing, and they'll say, yeah, I do. Like I still want to do that. And say, great, let's do this. Let's set up a new time. Let's set up a new time to meet and just, talk about the next steps and how we can get you started. And then say nothing and let Rachel respond. Rachel will probably say, yeah, that sounds great. And then from there, get that appointment on the calendar and then have that next meeting. When you follow up with the intention of really serving your client, really helping them, really focusing on their problem, they'll say yes to the next appointment with you. Next up, we're going to talk about how to stay focused on your mission and your vision. And remember, your 2X is waiting for you too.